Greetings, this is the Ghetto Free Press, and I am in Valdosta, Georgia, standing in front of the Martin Luther King Corridor Monument. This was erected to honor the dream, the life and legacy of a great American. However, it seems as if though the dream of Dr. King is vanishing before our very eyes. Today marks the third day of the court case of Lula Smart in Quitman, Georgia. I chose to come over here today to do this evening wrap-up concerning that trial with Richard Porter and the state prosecutors here in the state of Georgia concerning the Quitman 10+2. And Lula Smart is being tried. Her first case was a mistrial. Today, the third day, without any television stations or news media that we could see. And it is being discussed in the circles of the Black African American community and the right community. How could it be, under our form of government, that a high-profile case such as the Quitman 10+2, dealing with voters' rights, could go as if though a tree fell in the forest, and then they're going to tell you that the tree did not fall, and more importantly, they're going to tell you that the tree didn't even exist. But thank God for the Ghetto Free Press, because I'm recovering a little bit every day, morning and evening, because I want you to know what others want to keep away from you. We have only had 4 or 5 people to take the witness stand. Today, we had the registrar, a young lady out of the Secretary of State's office with 18 years experience, I think she said, but you should have been in the courtroom. The newspapers should have been there so they could tell you what took place. You know, it's amazing how someone can work in the elections system for 18 years and not know that you're not supposed to take a ballot from your place of employment to your home, or to deputize your granddaughter to work on ballots at your home, or even in the Board of Elections. Then for Attorney King to ask a question. The job that she gave to her granddaughter, was it advertised in the paper in terms of an opening for employment? Can you imagine? And so it seems like we are going to get the rest of the story, that Georgia indeed is a state wherein they make the laws up as they go and they erase them when they want to. Moreover, not only talking about the registrar, or no, the director of elections out of Brian P. Kemp's office. Yeah, and look, even more interesting is how an employee at the Quitman post office, John Boon, testified that he didn't know anything about the Privacy Act. Now, this man had worked 18 years in the post office in Quitman, not necessarily in Quitman, but in the postal service. And he didn't know about the Privacy Act. In fact, he didn't know that copying down people's information on the outside of an envelope, passing it over to a person that he didn't know who they were, all this came out today. But see, you don't know nothing about none of this, because we are living in a state where there is no freedom of the press, no freedom of press when it comes to people knowing what takes place concerning alleged voter irregularities in the state of Georgia. ABC, CBS, WALB, and other news media outlets, including newspapers, including the Atlanta Journal and Constitution, CNN, because this is dealing with voting issues. And so it seems like to me that everybody should be concerned about what is happening to these outstanding citizens who we believe did nothing wrong. In fact, the Quitman 10+2, and it'll come out in the trial already, that the only thing that they did was got out and work aggressively to use the legal system and process of using the absentee ballot process. That's the only difference. That is indeed the only difference. And that blacks became the majority on the Brooks County Board of Education for the first time in Brooks County's history. Some people apparently didn't appreciate that. And so I'm going to close this out today. I could give you more details, but ask yourself, if all this is going on, why is this not newsworthy here in South Georgia? Is the news media in cahoots with trying to steal and destroy our form of government, wherein it's supposed to be designed for, by the people? They say we are government of, for, and by the people. So undoubtedly we have somebody who don't like that. And so they are working to change that. I'm just going to say that Linda Ford testified today, and I couldn't believe how someone, anyone, including Mr. Boon, could be employed and not know some of the basic tenets of a manager, let alone a director. But to not know, number one, that you're not supposed to take ballots to your home and to hire a relative to help you with your work, and then, according to her, to put on payroll for the taxpayers. Then to have a postal worker to take ballots from the mail, record the information of personal mail, and then give it over to people apparently who had an interest in the outcome of the 2010 election in Brooks County. Now, you don't know nothing about all of this. I'm going to ask you all to ignore everything I just said. I'm going to ask the people in Brooks County and right around this area in particular, in the civil rights organizations such as Al Sharpton, if he's in the United States, Al Sharpton, I'm going to ask Nan, why is not some of the representative from Nan here? This is dealing with voting rights. And if we are not concerned with voting rights for our active duty military personnel, our disabled military veterans, our retired military veterans, and everyday citizens, then what in the heck do we pay our dues into these civil rights organizations for if they can't come and assist to sit as support for the Quitman 10+2, or to go to Meigs, Georgia, where Linda Harris, a black mayor, I don't have to stop there. Go to Dawson, Georgia. Go to Davisboro, Georgia. Go to Gordon, Georgia. Go to other cities where black mayors are in place, and they are catching hell. They call me because wherever I go, the story is the same. Jacksonville, the news media will not cover the news in the black community. I go to Coffee County, Douglas. The news media will not report the black news. That news that is important to us, that affect our daily lives is ignored. Haven't finished yet. I was just in Waycross. The cry is the same. The news media will not report. TV, radio, they just don't report the news. And so this is why a lot of blacks now don't even want to get before the camera of these white majority news stations, because they are biased. They won't tell the real truth. It seems as if though there's a hidden agenda. Go to Brooks County. People are saying we don't have a news media outlet. Go to Willacoochee. Voting problem. They had a press conference over there a year ago. They called all the news media in the area on voting rights, and somebody possibly paying people to vote for them. And do you not know not a single news station, television, radio, or news showed up? I was the only someone there. And had I not been there, all that would have been lost in the cosmos, in the historic archival record, could have been lost forever. Go to Monroe, Georgia. Same thing. All across the state of Georgia and in Florida, they will report their news, but our news is like no news at all. But I want to close by saying this. Google the Quitman 10+2. All you in New Zealand that hit me up on this channel, all the military people in Korea, and on other bases overseas who listen to this channel, please understand something. You need to find out why you are in the military. You need to find out if your rights at home and the rights of your children, your siblings, your mother and father are being respected back in the United States of America. Because you may be putting your life on the line for something that you don't even have here at home. Now, as a retired military veteran, you ask me why I do this? Because I love this country. And believe it or not, I took an oath and obligation to defend this country from both foreign and domestic enemies. I took the M16. I took that. I was trained in that to stand up for foreigners. So now, should I not stand for white people, black people, Japanese, Germans, Latinos, Canadians, Russians, Israelis, Arabs, Christians, Muslims, Jews, Hindu, Presbyterian, Baptist, Church of Christ, Presbyterians, and you? Should I not stand up for you? You are an American. You may have a different religion. You may have a different skin color, but sooner or later, as Dr. King has said, and people said even before he said it, that we are either going to learn how to live together as brothers and sisters down here, or we are all going to perish and die as fools. Because don't let nobody fool you. When they dump sewage into the water in Lowndes County, when they dump toxic waste in Yucca Mountains, when they put chemicals on our vegetables, and we eat green thinking we are being lean and healthy. But if we don't know what is going into our food and don't give a heaven, then we are killing ourselves. And we are helping to destroy this beloved nation. And you can believe it if you want to, a greater nation than the United States of America fell and went down into ruin. All because those who profess to know Jesus, Muhammad, and others, they got quiet under the spell of the Leviathan. They dip. They duplicate Jesus in the churches. They imitate Muhammad in the mosque. They placate the son of Amram and Yoshebel, Moses in Judaism. But when it comes down to loving your neighbor as you love yourself, we are lost in the cosmos and cannot be found. But somewhere in God's world, I believe what is written in the volume of sacred law, not only in the Bible, but in the Holy Quran, in the Torah, and in the Gita among the Indians. There is love in God's world. And there are some of us who are committed to proving and showing to the world that there is a superior being in this world, and that God will always stand up on the side of the righteous. And so, Dr. King, I want to say to you, my beautiful brother, thank you for the life you live. But they playing with you today, brother. They playing with you today, man. We'll erect a monument in your favor, and we'll meet in the church to talk about the life you live. But these same preachers, these same people that stand on the stage on your birthday, Dr. King, they are nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. When our women are over in Quitman, and our sons and daughters are dying across this nation. So, Dr. King, I want you to know that a few of us, we're not doing all that talking, and we're not talking about we saved, sanctified, Holy Ghost filled, fire baptized, on our way to heaven and trying to tell people how to live and our own lives in shambles. Nah, we just want to continue to work on behalf of our God in the same manner that you worked and gave your life, because you love somebody outside of yourself. To America and to all the American people, let me repeat, to all the American people, I want to leave you with this thought. As a nation, as a community, state, and world, United States, we are not who we claim to be, but who we prove ourselves to be over a given period of time. And if you're a liar, time will tell. If you're a murderer, time will tell. If you just hate, time will tell. And God said heaven and earth would pass away, but my word will stand forever. So, Dr. King, rest assured, my brother, that in the end, God will win. Bye-bye. You go.